So I always tell founders, if you're going to sell a majority of the business, just sell as much of it as you can. Because you're
So
giving up
you'd rather not be involved at all after you
less
sell.
about being involved, but more just knowing that so much of my future economic value was controlled by someone else. Now, sure, I was the CEO of the business, but I didn't control the business. I didn't control the future of it. I couldn't control the capital. I couldn't control the financing. I basically had a boss, right? So for founders who are contemplating usually some sort of liquidity event and they're thinking about, oh, is it minority? Is it majority? I typically tell them, don't do what I did, which was sell 60, sell 85%. And you can still roll a bunch, you can still be involved, still be the CEO, but just try to take as much of it out as you can. Obviously, it's easier said than done, and I'm an N of one who, looking back 10 years ago, I guess at this point, it'd be 10 and a half years ago, what the decisions that were going into it, what I would do different, but every founder is different, and it's subject to their circumstances.
So the negative feelings you have about selling, it come from the fact that you compare yourself to people whom you consider, I guess, role models, or you respect them a lot.
I think there's a twofold negative feeling that happens. I don't necessarily have a negative feeling about selling per se, because I certainly sold at the peak and it has been a life-changing opportunity for me because I've been able to do other stuff, which perhaps we'll talk about. So it's less about the regret of selling. It's more the two things that sort of happened since. One was, as I mentioned, just sort of the give up. I gave up so much control to other people. And that's not bad. They're the most reputable people you'd want to give up control to. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't me. So I had a boss, right? So that was sort of like the first vector of it, And then I guess I would say, and it's sort of hard to talk about this one necessarily, I guess the second one, as it relates to it, is more just sort of around my own identity with the business. Once I sold it, I wasn't that guy anymore. So it was less about the act of selling and more just about sort of the circumstances that have followed since. And because of that identity thing, it's led to my own personal insecurities. It's led to my own personal self-worth. It's led to my own personal demons, if you will, relating to it. So it's not that I hate selling. It's just I hate the 10 years that have been since. But most of that's my doing.
You lost half of your identity, really. You were CEO and founder, and then you were still the CEO of the company, but not the founder.
Great point.
That founder bit was more important for you, you found?
Yeah, it's, I always say for a guy like me, founder is always the most important thing, and I'll always be the founder. You'll never take it away. If Protein Bar has 20 units or 2,000 or 200,000 units one day, I'll always be the founder. Now, that may be worth nothing except a hug from my son, but from a founder's pride perspective, it's important. Even to this day, the business actually is in a good position now. So it has an opportunity to live on for a very long, long, long time. I live in New York now. We're opening a location in LaGuardia, so that'll be exceptional for me and my family from a street cred perspective. But less around the identity of me being tied to the brand and more just around me waking up and controlling my own destiny, right? So that's why entrepreneurship was my calling, and it may be for most founders, is that you wake up and you control the outcome by your actions. And it's your actions and luck and timing and circumstance, but by and large, they always say the harder you work, the luckier you get. And then the second I sold, I didn't control those anymore. Yeah, sure, I went to go perform, but it was a job. It wasn't me. Yeah. That's more kind of what I mean about the identity linking to it. It's sort of a eat what you kill type mentality to now I'm just a soldier for someone else.